Hello and welcome to the birthday gift. I'm going to do an impromptu reading here. Actually, I was guided to do this reading. For those of you who are on Patreon, you know I have a lot going on this week. So I've been making notes of channeling that I've been getting. But today I was just pushed to just do this reading because I want to look a little deeper into what's going on with the coronavirus, what that means for us as a collective, okay? Because there's going to be a lot of changes. There's going to be a lot of things are going to start feeling different. So we're at like a new beginning, okay, globally. All right, so I want to see what the cards say. And guys, just know I'm just going to read the cards as they come out. So if you are very sensitive to certain things, or if a certain word triggers you, or if you are distracted by a certain phrase, this may not be your reading. You have to be very open to receiving messages. There's no specific agenda or objective with the message. I'm just going to read the cards. Okay, so if you're very sensitive, or if you believe in certain conspiracies or things of that nature, you may want to proceed with caution, I guess. Okay, I'm just going to pull the cards out, and the messages that I get, that's what I'm going to deliver. Okay, so let's go ahead and just take a look, see what Spirit has to say about coronavirus, what that really means for us. What should we expect going forward? How is it going to change us all? Okay. And I'm using the Templar Tarot, the Journey. I like these cards because they pick up on energies other cards don't. We have the Queen of Pentacles here, guys. This is about how grounded are you? So actually, you want to make sure you have things in place. You have a plan. Okay, that you're not just acting out of fear, out of doubt, out of anxiety, but the decisions that you're making right now, they're practical, they make sense. Okay, they're realistic. And not only that, you can see, where you would be within 6 months. Or, you have that 1 year, 4-year plan. You want to tread lightly. Right now, you should really be taking care of the home. Make sure you have things in place for yourself, your family, your loved ones. Okay, it's really about your stability. Saving up, making sure you have enough. So you need to be in the planning mode, guys. You really need to be serious right now. This is not about just trying to wing it. You want to start analyzing, looking through the details. You all are being told. I mean, you watch the news, you're on social media. There are disclosures out there. They're telling you to prepare yourself. And this is not to get you scared or fearful. Okay, if anything I'm saying is making you afraid, you are not hearing this correctly. This is just being prepared. And this is how you should live your life all the time, not just right now with what's going on. You need to always have a plan. Justice. Okay, because things are balancing out. There's a balance happening. So we're going through like karmic justice right now as a collective. It's like a renewal is happening. You need to be paying attention to details again, reading closely, looking between the lines. Okay, and the way they have this here, it's like time is of the essence here. So you need to be doing things in a specific time. Many of you are just going through this. It's like you're taking it lightly, and you don't even know what your next plan is going to be. You can't even see 1 month, 2 months, 3 months ahead. They're saying you need to be really paying attention, looking between the lines here. Information is being sent to you, guys, but many of you are blindfolded. I'm going to keep going, but just know that the universe, the earth, is going through there's a balance happening. Okay, we have 9 of Pentacles. So this is another Pentacle suit. This is making sure you have your ducks in a row. Okay, this is making sure that you are financially independent. I know many people are losing their jobs. Many people cannot go to work. Many people are really at the point where they don't know where their next paycheck is coming from, which is why they have the stimulus, and there's different loan programs depending on what you do. So make sure you're looking at resources for you, because there's something out there that will be able to help you. But this is to let you know, going forward, make sure you always have a plan. You have things in order. Okay, you want to make sure you are self-sufficient. You're not so dependent. We are so dependent on outside resources for things. Like, what will you do? Ask yourself, what will you do if all of the stores and supermarkets were closed for 2 months? How would you feed your family? Do you have an answer for that? Are you planning for that? The Queen of Pentacles, she plans. Do you know how to plant seeds and grow food for yourself? Do you know how, do you have enough water supply? These are the things you need to be thinking about, guys. Okay, we've been conditioned to be so dependent. Oh yeah, I can just go on Amazon and order things. I can just go to the local supermarket around the corner. What if that supermarket was closed and then they put a sign that they won't be open for who knows how long? What if the supermarket was closed for 6 months? What would you do? Do you have a plan? You need to be in planning mode. So right now, it's about, honestly, I feel like this is a test, okay? Because it's about really being ready for anything. Do I think the supermarkets will be closed for, for a long period of time? No, not really. I don't. However, what would you do if it did? Are you prepared for that? Or are you thinking, oh, tomorrow I'll go to the store? If you have loved ones that depend on you, what are you gonna do if you do go to the supermarket and it's closed? You guys need to really be planning. This is not to get you all scared again. That energy is not coming from this message. If you're starting to feel scared, just know you're not getting that from this message. This is all about being calm and collected and just ready. Okay, the Nine of Pentacles energy is a person who they're independent. They know how to produce for themselves. You know, this is being able to live that life. You know, it's like that successful business person. Self-sufficient, not dependent on other things. If you wake up one day and there's nothing, this is being able to feed a crowd of people from one fish. This is someone who's able to do. Don't complain and cry because things are not working, but just go straight into basically just go into that mode where you're just handling business. Don't have time to complain that you don't have enough. Don't have time to worry. Don't have time to be scared and cry. Just go straight into, here is a possible solution. Let me try it. Okay, we have the Two of Swords here. All right, so even though you may not be seeing things clearly or knowing exactly what's happening, because there are things we don't know. There are things that are hidden. Absolutely. There are things that are hidden. And there are things that we don't know. You have people around you. I mean, having family, loved ones is very helpful right now, because the Two of Swords is usually depicted with a person with the two swords, their arms crossed, and a blindfold on. There's no blindfold, but there is somebody here who still looks worried, but he has someone here who's willing to take up one of the swords and support. So being around family, loved ones, having a plan, having a community basically is going to be helpful for you, because then you'll start being able to see things clearly. If you're just by yourself, you might find yourself worrying. Excuse me. You might find yourself believing things that are actually not true. Be careful where you're getting your information from. Okay, because we have a lot of resources nowadays. We have a lot of places where you can just click and listen to information. Just be careful where you're getting your information from. If you're listening to something and it makes you afraid, or it starts bringing up that fear, you might want to fact check that. You don't want to be operating from a blind place, because then you're just doing a whole bunch of things that's not really going to be helpful for you. Okay? So if you're like you have 1,000 different scenarios in your head, or conspiracy theories in your head of what might be going on or what might be happening, you might have information overload. Sometimes you might want to step back from all the places you're getting information from. It can cause you to go nuts. Okay, the biggest message so far here from what's laid out is that you really just need to have a plan, and you just you don't want to be a part of the group of people who's overly worried, over planning, or under planning. I mean, every day we get different updates, so we are kind of like going with the flow in a sense. But, and yes, we all know there are certain things we don't know. There's certain things that's being kept from us. That's why we got the blindfold on here. It's like there's certain things we don't see. Of course, absolutely, there's things going on. But if you're picking up Queen of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles energy, it can help things flow. Okay? Yes. Ace of Pentacles. We're going into new times, guys. What's happening is, going forward, we're going to be in a new earth. Okay, so this is like the new beginning of your new foundation that you're building for yourself, or you should be building for yourself. This is the Ace of Pentacles. So things are going to be different. We have 3 Pentacle cards here. Pentacles is earth. It's the physical. It's the real. It's the 3D. Okay, the things you can touch, you can see, you can build for yourself, you can plan. It's things that you can fact check. You could say, hey, look, I'm going to do this because this will happen if I do this. And each next step, you're able to prove, or you have actual reliable resources, or sources rather, reliable sources that can actually tell you, hey, look, if I do this, then this. So if I plan for this, I'll be ready if this happens. That's basically that earth energy. It's realistic. It's very structured. It's pragmatic. It's not really it's not all over the place. It's not impulsive and impatient. It's controlled, and it makes sense. It's about being security oriented, okay? This is really about your stability going forward, our stability going forward. We're going into a new earth, new times. You're gonna have to be strong and collected. At the same time, being optimistic, knowing that what's coming is actually gonna be good for us. Not worrying, because that's not gonna help, okay? Wow, yes, I'm telling y'all. Information is being sent to you. We have the Two of Pentacles here. There's information coming down. So things have been said. It may not have been direct. I'm gonna turn this off. It may not have been direct, but it's been said. So if you are reading or looking in between the lines, you're gonna actually be prepared. We have so much Pentacle cards here. The Two of Pentacles is also the energy of being busy, having a lot going on. And what this is just saying you should be doing a lot. You know, not going crazy, but you should be, hey, look, it's almost like teamwork. I'm doing this to make sure this happens. You should be doing this, and you should be doing this. Like you should have a plan. Guys, it's about being prepared. Your money, a lot of people's money, stability, home, business, work, career, things of that sort is being affected quite a bit here. Quite a bit. The Hermit, and this is what we are in. We're in hermit mode. And you do know during this time, okay, the fact that we are being told stay home, no work, no play, all of that, it's time for reflection, self-reflection. It's time to take a step back and start looking at, okay, what have I built for myself? What have I done? What can I do? We're all in hermit mode not just as a nation or as a certain place in the earth. It's everyone. Everyone has these restrictions. Everyone is reflecting, looking. Even the government entities, they're also in hermit mode trying to see what's next. I mean, we're getting different reports every day. I mean, they change the social distancing. They change it like every other, who knows, week. So It's like everyone's reflecting. And you should be too. You should actually really be trying to grow here. Okay. Okay. We have the Ace of Cups. Again, information being sent. Again, this is like a new time. I honestly believe things are going to be okay. In the dailies, we've had 3 days in a row, peaceful resolution. And then after that, we had the success card. I feel like right now, a lot of you may be worried with what's going on. Okay, this is the Ace of Cups. And many people are turning to their spiritual groups, which is going to be helpful. But just know we're going to be fruitful here, guys. There's newness coming, but it's going to make us... it's going to be a new beginning in your foundation. And then not only that, with the Ace of Cups here, I can tell many are worried or not. They're not sure about your foundation. You don't need to be. We have a peaceful resolution, and it's going to put a lot of people in a place where you're very fruitful. So you don't need to be worrying. There's a purging happening. If you're familiar with the Ace of Cups card on the traditional deck, it's like a cup pouring over. Actually, I have it here. If you see this is the Ace of Cups. So what's happening, there's a purging happening, okay, of old energies, old emotional hindrances. You're purging that out. Those are going to be released to make space for the new, okay? Make space for what's coming in, guys. Wow, okay, good. I mean, I feel the endings. Okay, we have 2 9s here. Hermit is a 9 and the 9 of Pentacles. So there's endings. And then we have 2 aces here. And we have 2 2s. Okay, we have 2 2s. So this is really good. It's just newness. It's a new time for us. We're going into new. So things are going to be different. Yes. Is it all positive change? Maybe not. I mean, I do feel inflation. There might be, there's going to be a big stress on the economic state. That's why planning, that's why the Queen of Pentacles came up first. She's the planner. It's just, you just need to be prepared is the biggest message here. Now we have, oh wow, this is nice. Now we have the Queen of Staves. This is the Queen of Wands. She's the go-getter. She's ready for what comes. This is also, again, we have this book here. Make sure you're paying attention to the information being sent, guys. I feel like we're being sent information in different corners, different areas. Don't ignore certain things. If something stands out to you, pay attention to it. You have to. If it's being sent to you for a reason, it's information being given to you. We still have growth happening. She has 1 wing. So the other wing will be developed as you continue to move forward. Many people are going to start being their own provider, starting businesses. I feel like that's going to be one of the biggest changes, especially with the way things are set up now with the internet. Now most people are providing for themselves, starting their own businesses. It's changing up the way people earn money. I mean, the Queen of Staves energy is someone who's courageous and assertive. They're daring. They're ready to start. They're creative as well. They have business ideas. They're very inspirational. People come around them and they are inspired to do their own thing. This is a very self-confident, independent, passionate energy. Very, very, very inspiring. Okay, it's like you're gonna start feeling inspired. If you had a project you wanted to do, business you wanted to start, it's time to start putting the energy into that. We're going into new times. You know, in the past it was a requirement to have a college degree to earn. It's not really the same anymore. Okay, of course we all know you need a degree for certain things, but all I'm saying is your earning potential is different. Okay, and this is coming from someone who has a college degree, so I'm not putting college degrees down. It is necessary in certain areas of study or certain professions that you want to do. It's just now we have different ways of earning. There's different options. There's more potential. Okay, so if you're wanting to start that business, you can go for it. You can go for it. And then we end with the Five of Swords. So here's what's happening. It feels like a fight, right? It feels like a fight. Oh, wow. We have the Queen of Cups here as our overall energy, and I'll get to this. This is awesome. We have 3 queens. Okay. So we have the Five of Swords here. So it might feel like you're in a fight. You might feel like your shadow side is coming at you each and every other way. And be careful of that, because we are dealing with that right now. And even when this came out, I saw our shadow side. We're dealing with our shadow side now in isolation, or in this lockdown, I guess you could say. Our shadow side feeling like what you're doing for yourself is actually best for yourself, or is better for you, not knowing that sometimes it hurts you. That's your shadow side. So when the Devil card comes out, that's dealing with the shadow side. That's those things that we do to make ourselves feel good. Those addictions that people have, or those negative attachment to things that'll give you a temporary feel-good feeling, but eventually it wears off. And then, that's like drinking a lot, and then later you get a hangover. It felt good when you were doing it, but then later, you actually have another problem. You realize that there were other things you were supposed to do. You probably missed the deadline to something. It's just like a domino effect of other problems stemming from a problem or an issue that you had it felt good at the time, but later you realize it probably wasn't a good idea. So a lot of us, we're in that fight. We're trying to fight off things. It could be negative thoughts. It could be the state that you're in, just thinking that things are not going good. Your thoughts, guys, be careful with that. Know how to detach from something, a thought that's not yours. Fight it off. Meditation can help with that. But I do see worry. You don't need to worry. There's no need to worry here, because we're just going through a change. Okay, now with all of these queens here, and then we have the Queen of Cups here. She sits here. Okay, there's a lighthouse on the side of her here, and then there's a ship here. And the water is not really too turbulent behind her. But where she's sitting, there is turbulence. Okay, so many of you can be very emotional with what's happening now. Can feel like, you're being pulled in different places. Just know it's going to be calm pretty soon. Okay, your feminine side right now is what's driving you. So this is letting me know your intuition. Listen to it. Listen to your intuition. Okay, for those of you who watched me for a while, I'm working on the tarot course, which is actually in the works, guys. It's slated to be released this summer. Okay, I'll have a date soon. but I am still working on that. It's about being in touch with your intuition, listening to yourself, trusting your decisions, trusting that you've made the right decision. Those things that you doubt, those things that you're not sure about, being able to go back, sit with yourself, and come to a decision and trusting it. You know, when something is being sent to you, if you're seeing certain synchronicities, being able to know what it means for you. Because one synchronicity can mean something for this person and mean something different for another. Right now, we're going through a change that's trying to show us to trust ourselves more. I feel like as a collective, we are actually elevating. Going forward, everyone's going to do things differently. You're going to think differently. It's going to be different. It's going to be new. We're going to be operating from a higher space as a collective. We're going through that fight now, but in the end, I feel like many people are going to basically shed off some of those things that didn't really serve you. I want to see what justice is. Tell me more on justice, please. Okay, we have a card that flipped. Okay, see, it's the Seven of Swords. This is those deceptive thoughts. Those are going to start going away. We're going to be able to pick up on, hey, look, the way I'm doing things, the way I think, the way I'm operating, I need to realize now it's not really in my best interest. He's walking away with 5 swords. He sees those 2 behind him, but he feels like he's getting away with something. But he doesn't have everything, does he? He only has 5. There's 7 in all. So this is like leaving things behind, thinking that what you're doing is actually within your best interest, but there's more opportunities. There's more things out there. There's a different way of doing things. There's a better way of doing things. Okay, that's going to balance out. This blindfold is going to be removed. We're going to stop doing things and thinking that is within your best interest. Release all those thoughts that don't work. Release them. Let them go. And understand that we have fruitful times, better times coming in ahead of us. Okay, so it's really about just being prepared, knowing that we're going into a different time. I don't really see things being the same going forward, and I'm not saying that in a bad way. I feel like we're just going through a change, you know, and this is everyone going to be affected. It's almost like after 9/11, things just weren't the same anymore. Travel wasn't the same. You know, it's there were different restrictions, different things in place. It became the norm, the new norm. We're going into new times. Things are going to be different. The way you think is going to be different. The way you do things. You all will start paying more attention to things. You're going to start being more prepared. Okay, please give me a message. An overall message for this reading. It says, ask your angels. Just know you have help around you, guys. You have help around you. We are being assisted. Okay, everyone has their specific assistance around them. Ask your angels. They'll tell you what's right for you. They're the ones sending this information down. They're hoping you receive it and you take notes. It helps you create for yourself, build for yourself. A lot of you are being pushed to start doing your own thing. Any other message? It says forgiveness. Don't hold on to anything. Don't feel resentful towards anyone. Let go of those energies that's not serving you. Don't look for blame. Looking for blame someone to blame with what's happening. There's really, okay, on the larger scale, I'm pretty sure anyone can make it's debatable on, oh, is someone to blame? But to be honest, that's not helpful energy. Okay, just if you holding on to any kind of resentful feeling or feeling like there's a specific group to blame or specific institution or rule or law or whatever to blame, you have to let go of that energy. We need to just go with the flow. Go with the flow. Things are changing, and I feel like it's going to get into better times. We are probably going to deal with what's happening for the next couple of months, but I feel like by the end of month 5, and this actually came out, like by the end of May, things will start weaning off. You know, things will start getting better. Will it ever be the same as before? No, because your mental state is changing. With this experience, you're going to start being more prepared, more ready. Okay? So, yeah, it says forgiveness. I think that's very important because a lot of people, what's holding them back is they're holding on to resentment from people who's deceived them in the past, who's done them wrong. Let that go, guys. And there's really no place for that into what we're going into the changes that's going on. So going forward, people are going to be more careful when it comes to just your sanitary state. Okay, with this coronavirus thing that's going on, my nephew, he's what, 4 years old. And if you ask him what's coronavirus, he'd be like, coronavirus! I think that's so funny. Apparently there's some kind of meme going on and people are saying, coronavirus! And that's how he talks about coronavirus. And I told him, pick that up off the floor. It was something by his foot. And he's like, I'm not picking that up, Auntie. It has germs. And I can't have germs right now with the coronavirus. It's just so funny. So people are going to start being more careful with just our sanitary ways of being. Everyone has these masks on. It's just, this is actually not a bad thing. You know, social distancing. You should always not be too close to anyone. You know, it's just, we're going to be different. We're going to be taking care of ourselves more. I think people are just going to be more aware. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there. And I hope this was helpful. I just think we're going into new times. Okay, that's what's happening. We're moving into a new earth. Renewal is happening. There's a renewal happening for everyone. Okay? All right, so that's what I have. And I hope this was helpful. And I want to thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time.